If you're shopping for a 5G phone under $300 right now, the options are genuinely good, but they're not all good for the same person. The right pick depends entirely on what you actually do with your phone. So let's go through each one and make that clear. The first one up is the Moto G Stylus 5G 2024. This is Motorola's note-taking phone. A 7-inch POLED display running at 120Hz, a Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 processor, 8GB of RAM, 256GB of storage, and a 5000 mAh battery with 30-watt turbo power charging. But the feature that defines this phone is right in the name, a built-in stylus that tucks flush into the body. According to Motorola, you can pull it out and launch their Moto Note app without even unlocking the phone, which means if you're the kind of person who constantly needs to jot something down fast, that workflow is there whenever you need it. On the camera side, the main sensor is a 50-megapixel shooter with optical image stabilization, and out front, there's a 32-megapixel selfie camera. The display covers the DC IP3 color space and goes up to 1200 nits of peak brightness, with Dolby Atmos audio through dual stereo speakers and a 3.5mm headphone jack still present. Per the official specs, it also supports a micro SD card for storage expansion. This phone is built for the organized professional or student who lives by their notes, someone who sketches out ideas, annotates PDFs, or takes meeting notes directly on the screen without carrying a separate notebook. The stylus isn't a gimmick here, it's the reason this device exists. And if that kind of on-device input matters to you, there's nothing else at this price that comes close to offering it. If you've never used a phone stylus and don't plan to, the same money could get you something with a more powerful chip elsewhere on this list. You can find this one on Amazon for $199. The link is in the description. Now let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy A26 5G. Samsung went in a different direction with this one. It's built around software longevity at a budget price. And that's a genuinely unusual thing to see in this segment. Per Samsung's official information, the Galaxy A26 5G will receive 6 major Android OS upgrades and 6 years of security updates, taking it all the way to 2031. For a sub-$200 phone, that's a commitment you don't normally see. The hardware backs it up reasonably well. You get a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display at 120Hz, an Exynos 1380 processor, up to 8GB of RAM, 128 or 256GB of storage, with microSD expansion, and a 5000 mAh battery with 25-watt fast charging. The main camera is a 50-megapixel sensor with OIS, joined by an 8-megapixel ultra-wide and a 2-megapixel macro with a 13-megapixel front camera for selfies. According to the official listing, the Galaxy A26 5G also carries an IP67 rating, something that's rare to find in the budget tier, meaning it can handle a drop in water up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. NFC is on board for contactless payments, and the phone ships with Android 15 out of the box under Samsung's One UI interface, with access to features Samsung markets as Awesome Intelligence, their AI toolset for this price range. This phone is the right call for someone who wants to buy once and not think about it for years. The person who doesn't want to upgrade every 2 years, wants Samsung's ecosystem and software polish, and needs that extra peace of mind around water resistance and long-term OS support. At $169, the price at the time of recording, it's one of the most compelling value propositions in this whole roundup. You'll find the Amazon link in the description. And if you're getting value out of this video, hit subscribe on GadTech and turn on notifications. We cover budget and mid-range tech like this regularly, so you don't have to do the research yourself. The third device is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 14 Pro 5G, the global version listed on Amazon at $285. This phone is sold as an international unit, and the first thing to know is a compatibility note that directly affects whether this phone will work for you. Per the Amazon listing, in the US market, this device is confirmed to work with T-Mobile and carriers that run on T-Mobile's network, like Mint Mobile and Tello. It does not support Verizon or AT&T's full band configuration. If you're on T-Mobile or one of its MVNOs, you're fine. If you're not, check before you buy. Now, if that compatibility isn't an issue for you, what Xiaomi built here at this price is remarkable. The display is a 6.67-inch AMOLED panel with 5K resolution. That's 2712 by 1220 pixels, running at 120Hz with a peak brightness of 3000 nits and Dolby Vision support, which puts it firmly above anything else in this list in terms of screen quality. The chip is a MediaTek Dimensity 7300 Ultra, on a 4nm process, paired with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of UFS storage. The battery is 5,110 mAh with 45-watt fast charging, and according to Xiaomi's global spec page, the package includes the charger in the box, which matters because some competitors don't. The camera is the headline, a 200-megapixel main sensor with OIS and a 1/4-inch sensor. That sensor size is typically found on cameras priced significantly higher. The phone also achieves IP68 water resistance, meaning it's rated for submersion up to 2 meters for up to 30 minutes, a step above the Samsung on this list. Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 is on the front. Stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos, NFC, and Wi-Fi 6 round out the connectivity. Xiaomi promises 3 major OS updates starting from Android 14. This is the phone for the content creator or photography enthusiast on a budget who is on T-Mobile's network and wants the best possible camera and display combination under $300. The 200-megapixel sensor with that sensor size is something you'd pay much more for in a mainstream brand. At $285, the link to grab it on Amazon is in the description. The last phone is the Moto G Power 2025. This one is positioned as Motorola's endurance device, a 6.8-inch IPS LCD display at 120Hz, a MediaTek Dimensity 6300 processor, 8GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, with microSD support up to 1TB, and a 5,000 mAh battery with 30-watt turbo power wired charging. What sets it apart from a pure spec standpoint is the full connectivity package. Per the official listing and multiple spec sources, this phone includes NFC, a 3.5mm headphone jack, 15-watt wireless charging, eSIM support, and MILSTD 810H rating for resistance to drops and environmental stress, all at the same time. Most budget phones sacrifice at least one of those. This one keeps them all. On the camera side, there's a 50-megapixel main sensor with OIS and an ultra-wide shooter. The phone ships with Android 15 and Motorola's characteristically lean software with very few additions on top of stock Android. According to the manufacturer's information, Motorola commits to 1 major OS upgrade and 3 years of security updates. Battery life in real-world use is reported to comfortably stretch a day and a half to 2 days of moderate use, per multiple published accounts. This phone is for the practical user who wants a big screen device that charges wirelessly, accepts wired headphones, supports contactless payments, and survives the occasional rough day, without paying attention to software update policies or camera specs. Someone who listens to music through a physical cable on the commute, pays at checkout with their phone, and occasionally forgets their charger. At $199, the Amazon link is in the description below. Whatever your use case, these 4 phones cover very different profiles, and there's real money to be saved or spent depending on what you actually need. Links to all of them are in the description. If you haven't subscribed to GadTech yet, now's a good time.